I'm here, parked. Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees will have to entertain themselves for a while as I make my way to the theater. But here I am. The theaters are right over here. And Mastercast is excuse me, sir. Do you know anybody this evening who may be going to see Terrifier that would want some company?
Yeah, I am. You want to join me?
Hey, that would be awesome.
Hey, let's do it.
Nice. Here is our theater. It is now showtime. We're going into that one right there, Theater 18. This weird little hole in the wall door right next to the big Dolby theater. So let's go see. Hopefully it's not like a teeny tiny theater, and maybe we'll look at some of the other stuff that's coming up when we get out of here, like Wicked.
2 hours later.
Well, we are out of the theater from watching Terrifier 3.
In this beautiful Glendale mall. It's very very fancy.
It's a nice mall. It's kind of a weird movie to see in a mall this nice, but it was crazy, it was gory, it was wild. It was very Terrifier, but maybe too far. Yeah. So what were your reaction here? Maybe we'll talk spoilers in just a minute, but let's talk maybe our initial reaction score, and then we'll give them a warning, and then we'll dive into spoilers.
Copy that. I didn't love it. I think for me it was felt more like a best of reel of special effects. Like, hey, look what we can do with this, look what we can do with that.
Yeah.
Nothing here felt as visceral as the second movie, especially like if you know the scene with the salt in the second movie.
Oh, yeah.
Everything here felt fakey, a little too plasticky, a little too rubbery.
Yeah.
For me, so I was never grossed out by it.
Yeah.
Because it felt, like a Halloween store, trailer reel kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was the story just they didn't have that much meat on the bone as far as the story. Yeah. There were some fun moments, but there's a lot of problems with it, I think.
Yeah,
too.
Mainly there's no movie. It almost feels like it's not even it's not a movie.
Yeah.
Sienna goes to her aunt and uncle's house, and she's just kind of hanging out there for the whole movie.
Yeah.
She has a zero narrative trajectory. She's just hanging out while Art is killing random people. And it just feels like it is just. We were watching it. One of my director buddies was here, and he said it's a mess. It absolutely is a mess.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's like no movie, no plot, no nothing. Which I guess isn't different, but I feel like part 2 felt like it had a cohesive story, and it gave her an arc and a journey. Here, there's zero.
Well, I mean, even the first one, we had All Hallows Eve, different Art the Clown actor.
I never saw that, actually. Is it like a short or something?
It's I think like an anthology, and I think there's 2 sequels of it. Now I haven't seen those. The first one is pretty rough, so you're not missing anything.
Okay.
But at least even in the first one, we got the 2 girls in the wherever they are, in the pizza shop, ice cream shop, whatever it was. I mean, there's kind of a story along with it, where this one it was like we're just killing to kill. And there was some very funny moments. Clint Howard was great, and Daniel Roebuck was great. There was a funny scene there, but funny moment, but there just wasn't a lot.
Yeah,
so.
Again, just trailer reel of special effects footage, and without getting into spoilers, it turns Art into a reprehensible character.
Yes.
Instead of a fun slasher that you can all root for, like a Jason or a Michael Myers.
Yeah.
He crosses a line that it's almost like you don't really want to root for him anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to really damage the franchise, to be honest.
It probably. Well, because I know people whose younger kids, maybe not 7 or 8 years old, but younger kids have seen the first 2. No way would I recommend any kids go see this.
Same.
You can't. So all in all, well, let's just throw a star rating at it. Then we'll talk some spoilers and stuff.
Sounds good.
We'll warn you for that. So do you have an idea where you're at? I'm kind of like
I was
maybe
at a 3, but then we got to the ending. I'm like, I think I'm at a 2.
Yeah, I think that's a fair score, and that's where I think I am too. I was like, because of some of the stuff they did that was so maybe offensive to, well, spoilers, but I was like maybe even a 1.5, but there were some very fun moments.
Yeah.
So 2 is a solid score. I agree with you. There you go. So we're going to talk spoilers. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, you can exit out of this video, come back afterwards after you see it.
Yes.
But don't forget and hit the thumbs up button before you go. And in case anybody's leaving, what's going on your channel? Anything anytime soon?
I'm busy editing a movie and prepping a new one. So not really at the moment.
Yeah, no, I know you're busy. If you missed a Vinegar Syndrome sale, or was it VS that
Yeah,
had
it
a
was
sale?
Vinegar Syndrome, the announcements for October. I had to miss it.
Yes.
So it was the day after we wrapped. So
That's
no
yes.
way.
No, I know. I had to stop on the road on the way home and take a nap. I pulled over behind a Del Taco,
I'm
napped
glad.
for a couple hours, but I was good. I was all amped and pumped up, for so much of the ride home, and so. But then eventually I got to the point where I was like, okay, I need to sleep.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but
Awesome.
so here we go. In just a moment, we're going to talk spoilers. If you don't want to watch, exit out now.
Bye.
It is spoiler time.
Yep.
You are much more. You put your words together a little better than I do. I kind of rant and ramble, so I'll let you dive in first.
Okay.
Because there were some issues with this movie that we kind of need to talk about.
So at least I think where I'm coming from, and I think OGP as well, it's not that the gore got to us or the gore was too much or we were too sensitive to the gore. I think it's what the kills do in shaping the character. So the first kill in the movie is a child. You don't see it. So you see the aftermath. You see him cut up, but you don't. You don't see. You hear the noise of
You
the
hear it, yeah.
And it's pretty. Kind of offensive in a way because what it does to Art. Art is no longer the fun, silly clown who goes after people. And does kind of goofy stuff. Now he's like a full-on serial killer. Now he's like a Jeffrey Dahmer, somebody who's like shouldn't be idolized. You shouldn't have T-shirts of this fucking guy.
Yes.
And there's another scene in the middle of the movie that involves a group of children and a bomb, and it turns Art into a terrorist, which to me already discounts him as a fun slasher character. I think that's where we're at with the spoilers because there really isn't a story to spoil.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that they I think they character assassinated Art.
No, you're right, and that's the thing is you had this guy who was fun watching him kill adults, or especially when you develop characters that the audience is not going to like, and then seeing them get killed, that's great. We all love that stuff.
That, yeah.
But when you have, and this, it's a lot of kids. I mean, we're guessing probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 kids get killed, and we're talking spoilers. So if you're listening, don't be mad at us, or
Yeah.
But too many kids, and we didn't need that at all. I mean, you want to be able to root for the guy. There was different things they could have done. And so that stuff, as parents, and I know the kid stuff bugs you a lot more than me. It's a movie, but yeah, he's not. After that, you're like, this is not a guy that I want to root for anymore.
Right.
But they immediately follow it up with him sitting there eating cookies and and milk and stuff.
Yeah.
That was kind of hysterical. But it's what happened right before was like, why do we need that? And the trauma, almost a child seeing or knowing their parents are killed, or seeing the aftermath of their parents being killed, is good enough. That's really twisted.
Yeah.
So, but what they did to the kids was pretty messed up. That was hard, and the lack of story, and there were some gaps where, she goes to bed, she's sleeping. It's like, oh, I gave her something, and timeline issues too, because she's freaking out. Sienna's freaking out, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I gave her something. She's asleep, but the uncle guy is supposed to be going to get the brother.
Right.
Well, fucking how long are you going to take to go get the brother who's supposedly in danger, and you're taking your sweet ass time to get out the door? She's already had a chance to go upstairs and go to sleep. And how did she go to sleep knowing her brother was still in danger?
Well, I think the aunt gave her like some kind of sleeping pill or something.
Yeah, but if that was me and my sister was in danger, I would have been like, I'm not fucking going to sleep till she's here, or I'm going with you.
Right.
So, but and that's where then you get into plot holes. It's just like we went from there to all of a sudden, spoilers, brother's dead, uncle's dead, aunt's, well, aunt wasn't dead right then, but but gets killed, and so we missed a lot.
We have two off-camera deaths, which it kind of made the ending feel a little lumpy. You're like, wait, what's happening? Okay.
Yeah. And at parts, I mean, chainsaws and the floor opening up into hell or whatever. I mean, like, there were different parts of this movie where I thought they were kind of either paying homage to other movies or just flat out ripping them off.
Yeah.
Where at the end of this, I was like, man, I feel like I'm watching an Evil Dead movie here. It could have been so much better, It's just, this stuff with the kids, I think, really kills it.
And yes, we're parents, but I don't think it's a parent thing. I think it's more what it says about Art the Clown himself and how I mean, you could say, well, you're not supposed to root for the serial killer, but everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody has Chucky and Jason toys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Chucky never killed a kid, and Chucky was after kids.
Yeah.
Chucky was goofy and fun, but he always targeted the adults.
Yeah.
There was a limit there, and I think that's how you build an icon. If you give them, it's like you could see Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs killing a child. We're not supposed to like him, but that happened. Fine, we can get that's going to happen. But they're building Art up as this big kind of fun, goofy horror icon.
Yeah.
But he's reprehensible is the word.
I'll be surprised if Spirit Halloween is full of Terrifier stuff next year.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because, I mean, how do you, now that the movie's out and everybody's going to see it, did Spirit Halloween go in blind? Did they just go in based off the first two movies?
Yeah, they probably haven't seen it.
So, if I'm Spirit Halloween, I might be yanking some stuff off the shelf tomorrow because that is a haven for kids.
Yeah. Oh, my son loves it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have that's actually a really good point. If word gets out, it could be a thing that hurts the franchise. I mean, as it is, I don't think it's going to be as successful as Part 2. Yeah. Mainly because I think it really hurts Art, and there's no movie. Like, it's completely plotless. Like, I think the events of the third act should have been the middle of the movie, and then the third act should have taken place in hell or whatever art world. That would have been interesting. That would have been, okay, there's a reason for this movie to exist.
Yeah.
There is zero reason for this movie to exist. Nothing happens.
I felt like when she wakes up and she's tied, she's taped to this chair or whatever it is, I thought that was all going to be a dream. I thought they were going to back out of that and that was going to be a dream sequence.
Like when she was hearing those voices, I'm like, oh, she's going to wake up and it's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
That person's not really in the room. Yeah. Oh, but they were.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was weird. Yeah. And they added a character in this one. The girl that was her friend from Part 2 that was killed, and now she's like Art's counterpart.
I think that zombie girl is from Part 1.
Oh, is she from Part 1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think she's the girl who survived Part 1. She's in Part 2 as she's being interviewed on TV. She's being kept in a mental hospital. So she doesn't even know Sienna. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's right, because the other friend was sitting at the table saying, "You killed me."
Yeah.
So, the girl, Art having a buddy, was okay. I mean, if you're going to introduce, a sidekick or whatever, that's fine.
But it's almost like toward the end, it felt like it flopped. Like she was the leader, and Art was the sidekick. Which again, it's like, what the hell? It's like, who's in charge here?
Yeah,
I didn't like that.
My prediction is we get a spinoff with her.
I mean,
it wouldn't surprise me if they
died. But I guess anything.
After the way they ended 2 and the way they brought him back.
I guess anything's possible.
Yeah.
Because there's no rules. That's the thing. We don't get any more mythology on Art at all, which is weird.
I did think, with him being headless and then, the scene on the bus where he puts the other guy's head on so he kind of looks normal, that was one of those funny moments where you're like, okay, this has a lot of potential, but starting off, immediately, my first thing was I looked over to see your reaction, like with the first kill being a kid, and then later on it's like, man, really? But even so, like the brother who's now college age,
Yeah.
and and we find out that he's killed, and there's his head, and she puts the glasses on him to identify him. It's just his head, and he's just there. That I could have lived with that.
Yeah.
But innocent, yeah. The kids at the mall and stuff was a little much.
See, the mall felt like something out of a police thriller. Like it felt like there's a mad bomber and he's taking out children.
Yeah.
It felt completely tonally weird.
I thought out of his bag, especially when the kids started taking regular toys out. I was waiting for
Body parts.
body parts to come
Yeah.
out. That's where it should have gone. So give the kid, give one kid a body part and let everybody freak out, and then you kill the real Santa and take off, or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went a real dark way with that. So it's a dark movie, but
it's very dark, and there's ways they could have fixed it. Like in the opening scene, instead of killing the kids, he killed the parents, great, but then the kids come down, and then Art's like, oh, come on, come on over here, I got cookies, and they all eat cookies with
Yes.
Art, but then they don't notice that the tree's decorated with the parents' guts or whatever.
that would have been brilliant. It would have been brilliant
that
if
would have
they're
been
sitting
perfect.
there eating, because they think this is Santa Claus,
Right.
And they're sitting there eating cookies with the guy who just killed their parents.
Yeah.
Would have been beautiful.
Yeah,
and then
that's all. We didn't need to see like a 10-year-old kid chopped up,
Yeah.
and the explosion thing again. Yeah, he's passing out real toys, but then he takes out like a real weapon and kills the adults, and the kids are like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like they get covered in blood. That's
Yeah.
fine, but I feel like I just really feel they did him dirty. I feel this is really gonna personally. I don't really give a shit for Art anymore. Like
Yeah, and that's what I'm wondering. Because at this point, with the direction they went, will they even get a fourth movie? No matter, maybe if this is a blockbuster, which it won't be, but let's just say it was, maybe they squeeze a fourth movie into theaters. But after the direction they went with this, I can't see another one getting. I think they've buried the franchise into straight to DVD or straight to Tubi, and my thing, I love the fact that they incorporated Christmas into Terrifier. And so that's what I was like, okay, maybe this will finally be the Terrifier movie that I love. And they could have, but they didn't. So, but now I don't know. I don't have, when if or when Part 4 comes out.
they said there was gonna be one.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means they have the money or what.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a done deal. There's also I think you were saying that they might split it up or something.
Yeah. So at Creep I.E, somebody was talking. I don't want to say the wrong name, but one of my friends at Creep I.E was talking to Damien Leone, and he was saying that the story for Part 4 is so long that it might be split up into 2 parts.
The story.
So, right? You should have used some of that in this one.
Yeah.
Give us some of that there. So
You forgot to put some in this.
maybe it's just he came up with like 40 different kill ideas, and so he wants to use them all.
The Abraham story is the kills. Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit of a bummer, and and thank God we didn't bring the kids.
Yeah. I told my kids are desperate to see it, and I said I'm gonna watch it first because I have a feeling this is gonna be a bad one. So my son's not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
My daughter wants to go see it with her friend, but she's 16, so.
But now, was it rated R? Is she, or are you guys gonna have to take her?
I think we're gonna.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll watch it again, but maybe I think her friend's mom is gonna go with them.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. She's not ready for this, but
and maybe give her some warning. Yeah.
But it's just an ugly movie, and I think that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
This felt like one of those German extreme gore movies.
Yeah.
That's what it played like.
Yes.
It didn't play like a fun Jason kind of thing.
And it's kind of weird. Maybe I should have mentioned this before spoilers, because it's not really a spoiler issue, but the film quality, it looked like maybe did they shoot it on film, or were they going for an old school kind of look, because it was very grainy.
Yeah.
It wasn't. There was moments where I was like, this kind of looks a little out of focus or whatever. So I'm wondering if they added like a grain to the edit to kind of cover up flaws.
Possible.
And it's really, I think you mentioned that first in there, but it's probably if that is what the reason for the grain, but it's weird. I mean, there were shots in there that I was like, oh, this kind of shot is reminiscent of Black Christmas. You know, the way the houses were decorated and stuff.
Yeah.
But even Black Christmas didn't go this route, and that's one of the greatest Christmas horror movies of all time.
Another bummer for this movie. There's a couple having sex in the shower, and no nudity.
Good point. Yes.
Well, we do get balls.
Yeah, penis flopping around.
Penis
balls
flopping around. I mean, it's fake because it's being killed.
Yeah.
But there's no nudity. Like, what kind of like pussy ass shit is that?
Yeah.
You're not gonna show boobs, but you're okay eviscerating a person and ripping the skin off their face.
Yeah.
To me, it's like that's
Weird
a weird,
choice.
dichotomy in choices there.
Because I mean, you've pushed this already.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about limiting your audience because of a nipple. You're not changing what your audience is going to be. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That was a weird.
Adds to the ugliness. You can
Yeah.
put something pretty in there for us to enjoy, but no.
Well, and that's where I'm like, you have Terrifier 2 and now Terrifier 3, where you have Lauren Lavera in there, who's a gorgeous woman.
And beautiful.
And it's like, okay, where she is in her career, she's just taken, and I don't know what this is going to do for her career now, but I can understand a girl like that not wanting to do nudity. But this is like
kind of naked.
This is a supporting actress.
Yeah.
That, like, throw her the extra $200 and get that nipple out there.
Literally. Yeah. No. I disappointed really long for you, but
we're good.
We didn't mention Lauren. She is really, really good.
Yeah.
She's a serious actress. Her emotions are conveyed in such a way that you really feel what she's going through, and you don't really see that in a lot of young actors. I think she did an incredible job.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it's in a movie that's so piss poor.
Yeah. Because there was 2 very emotional scenes where, whether it was, onions or whatever, I mean, she pulled tears, and it looked convincing.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was definitely one of the positives.
Yeah.
A few other good moments. Art. David Howard Thornton is phenomenal as an actor.
Yeah.
Obviously
he's
he didn't
great.
write the script, but man, and talking to David at Creep I.E, he was like, "Oh, this is going to be phenomenal. We took the best of 1 and 2 and we put them together and added Santa, and this is what you're going to get." And it's like, that sounds cool. But
and I'm surprised that he didn't say. I mean, maybe he did have the conversation with Damien about the character, because I'm surprised that he would kind of go on with the murdering of the kids.
Yes.
Because at conventions, kids go up to Art to get autographs.
Yep.
He has a lot of kids at his table.
Yes.
But now it's like, fuck, dude. Let's not go near that guy.
I'm going to be, being that we go to a lot of conventions, and the Terrifier cast and crew seem to be at all of them nowadays. It's going to be interesting to see how their lines look after this. So, because they always have long lines, especially David had a ridiculous line. He had the biggest line at Creep I.E, more than Juliette Lewis. So
that's insane.
I know.
That's insane.
So, well, anyways, it was awesome seeing you, hanging out, and everybody else who's that we came and saw the movie with. I'm not going to remember most of their names, so I'll just say all of those legends and badasses we got to hang out with.
Yes.
So, anyways. It's been fun, man. Looking forward to doing it again. Last movie review we did together was Long Legs.
That's right.
And so I've now purchased Long Legs and Blackcoat's Daughter.
Okay.
And so I'm going to rewatch them at some point and see. But I think knowing what I know, or knowing what I knew at the time about Long Legs, when I watched Blackcoat's Daughter, I really enjoyed it. Like, much more than Long Legs.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward. At some point, I'll rewatch those again. But we'll have to do it more often, more than once every 4 months or however long it's been.
Well, for sure. Well, now you're part of the crew, so we're gonna have to have you on every movie I make.
Well, hey,
you
you call me and I'm there, man. Yeah.
I love it.
I love the fact. It worked out. You needed some help, or could have used the help or whatever, and the timing was right. And so
we needed it.
It was fun, man. And middle of November is what we're hoping for, right?
Middle of November, it's coming out. You'll see. You'll see the goods.
And so it's funny. I had to write doing so there'll be a video after the movie's out of some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I kept wanting to call it Heretics.
Oh.
And so I had to actually write. I wrote down a note saying, I wrote HAIRUHTICKS, Heretics.
Yeah.
So I would get it right because I don't, it just comes out of my mouth wrong every time, and
Heretics.
I know better. So yeah. So, but anyways, the behind the scenes is going to be a lot of fun when you get to check it out. So.
I can't wait to see it. I haven't seen it myself. So
Nice.
I'm
nice.
excited.
Yeah, it's fun. There's some good stuff in there. Yeah,
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Let us know your thoughts down below after you see it, because it's going to be interesting to find out what everybody thinks.
It's going to be a divisive movie. I mean, I don't think we're going to be outliers, because I think everybody. Well, there's one of the people we watched who liked it, but he's younger. I think
was
most.
that Nick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think most of us weren't fans of it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
And the audience afterwards, we should say, no cheering, no clapping. I know, woo.
And I
dead.
really, that is a telltale for this type of movie and this type of crowd.
Yeah.
Usually they're rowdy and lose their shit, but I think we were all kind of like put off by some things.
Yeah. It was a very, very downbeat finale in general.
Yeah. Well, everybody, take care of yourselves.
Yes.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you.
Bye.